Fail disclosure. You're on the show.
So I was in the pharmaceutical industry, which is very cutthroat, and I was all too naive. My little nursing self, I had no idea how cutthroat that it was.
So you were a nurse, and then you went into the medical what? Sorry, was it medical? The pharmaceutical?
Pharmaceutical, yes. I went to the dark side.
I'm scared of like blood in hospitals, so my brain shuts off. So you were a nurse, and then you went to the dark side of the pharmaceutical side. Okay, got it.
Yes. And so, and it's a cutthroat industry, which I, was used to helping everybody, and then now I, have to go into CYA mode, like cover your butt mode, and so I was pretty naive and much younger, and just kind of thought everybody was nice to one another, and so I had a territory that overlapped with where one of my team members lived, and this person wanted that territory, and so which I was unaware of, and
I know
spent about 6 months dodging bullets that I was like, where is this stuff coming from?
Son of a bitch.
Just a lot of hatred, and going, what the heck?
Okay. What did he do to you?
Or she?
Well, I ended up getting a phone call from the compliance division of my company.
So compliance at a pharmaceutical company calls you.
I mean, that's got to be serious.
That is not good.
Yeah. Serious pucker factor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am stealing
immediate. That. Yeah. Immediate, like profuse sweating, what do I do?
I gotta go catch my dog. Bye. Click.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Exactly. Yes. And I should have done that. But, I was naive, and I was thinking, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what, sure, I'll answer every question that you have. No problem.
So is this this like HR or a lawyer?
It was a lawyer who was also accompanied with HR.
PSA for everybody. If a major company lawyer calls you and you're an employee, get off the phone.
Just hang up.
Don't talk. Don't talk. Say, I'll call you back. Have your lawyer call.
And
shut your lips.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
It sounds like you did not do that, though.
No, I verbal diarrhea. I was like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So much for that pucker.
In my head, like,
did you know what they were?
I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I say, were you putting the pieces together? Were you like, I did something, I didn't do something?
At the moment, no. At the moment, I did not.
Okay.
They kept asking me questions, and I don't want to get too detailed because who knows? Yeah. Who knows who would hear this?
If anything slips up, we'll edit it to we'll keep this one really tight. So
yeah, but because lawyers, HR. Okay, so all right, so keep going down this path.
Yeah, so they're asking me just various questions, and I'm answering, and then I'm looking at the clock, and when they first called, they said it was going to be a 30-minute call. Hey, Miss, do you have time for a
quick
30-minute call?
A little quick chat.
Sure, no problem. So, I can feel like I'm sweating and my shirt's getting wet, and I look at the clock, and it was like 45 minutes later.
Ooh,
I'm like, wait, I need to reel it in here. I need to so then I start getting a little bit mad, and I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. You guys are asking for my phone records. You guys are asking, for XYZ, and I've given you everything. You can look at my phone, whatever, which now, again, like we've established, people, PSA, don't do that.
Yeah.
Say no.
Yeah. Don't give anybody your phone.
That just goes for any situation.
Right.
So, I'm nervous thinking about my phone.
Yeah. Don't give lawyers your phone. Don't give kids your phone. You don't give anyone your phone ever.
No.
Okay. Go on.
Just destroy it. So 4 weeks later, and I lost about 10 pounds just being stressed out. I get a phone call. Yeah. And they're like, unfortunately, we can't prove or deny the story. And so we're going to have to let you go. And I was like, we'd like to meet with you tomorrow.
Ooh.
At the at the airport.
Oh, what?
And I'm thinking,
yeah. Arrested or fired?
Right. And I'm thinking, okay, this is
they're gonna give me a raise.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, maybe they're coming to apologize to me for putting me through hell.
No, yeah. This is some like private jet lawyer shit. Yeah, it's going down.
Yeah. So my mind is just like reeling and didn't sleep at all. Consulted with, a couple of my coworkers, and they're like, oh no, if they were going to fire you, they would have just done it over the phone. They wouldn't come to do it in person. You're good to go. I bet they're going to, apologize and, say, please stay with us, blah, blah, blah.
By the way, can I get your contacts? So can I get your leads?
Yeah. Like, this is just,
So, goddamn hyenas.
Yep. And it's about 1 p.m. the next day. I'm supposed to be at the airport at 2. And I'm like pacing the house. I'm just, have nothing to do. I'm gathering up all my iPads and computers to turn in when they can me, And all of a sudden, I get a call from a very well-respected colleague, and she's like, no, they absolutely would not fly in person to fire you. They would just do it over the phone. So I immediately take a deep breath. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm, going to relax, and I'm going to drive to the airport, and I'm going to be open to whatever they say and, whatever. So I start pulling out of my driveway, and FedEx guy. And I'm like, oh, hey, John, how's it going? He's like, good. I have a certified letter for you.
Oh.
I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, here you go. And I open it up, and it's my vacation payout. And I was like,
God damn.
Oh my God.
God damn.
Like, okay. Well,
you're fired.
Here we go.
And you don't know why yet.
Answers that question.
That's probably the best thing that could happen to you going into it.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was like a golden ticket.
Yes. Begin the fuckery now.
Yep. I'm like, come on, buddy.
Yes.
Let's go. So I called my dad, and I said, hey, Dad, you know how I got fired? Or I said, you know how I got called by compliance? And he said, yeah. I said, well, I am getting fired. And he said, how do you know? I said, well, I just got this vacation payout. Yeah. I said, you want to come be my lawyer? And he said, what? And I go, come be my lawyer. It'll be fun. Let's just go fuck with them.
Nice.
He's like,
that's awesome.
Gangster.
Okay.
He does it. Yes.
So
is your dad a lawyer?
So No.
Please tell me he's like a facilities manager or
drives truck or something like that.
No, none of the above.
He's just retired out in the garden. Sure. Puts on a suit with shorts on.
Yep, exactly. No, he had jeans on.
Nice.
He could have at least put on some slacks or something.
Yeah.
So he meets me at the airport, and he actually does some reconnaissance for me. He's like in the airport before I am. He must have like got the call, and he's like, hell yeah.
That is exactly what I would have done.
Put the gardening gloves down. And, yeah. So he goes to the airport, and he's like, hey, all right, so there's two people here. One's got curly, kinky hair, and the other one's bald. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's them. And he's like, all right, well, go up the escalator, and they're sitting to the left. And I'm like, all right. So I walk in, and I go up.
And we're going to come up, and we're going to stab them with this toothbrush that I made.
Yeah.
Dad, relax.
Yeah. And so I go up, and I standing in front of them, and they're like, well, hey, sit down. How's it going?
Oh, so they like, open-armed welcome you like your friends.
And your father is with you, and they don't know who he is. Is this correct?
Correct.
Oh,
correct.
Great.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, I failed to mention that. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I say, so this is my lawyer, and then I proceeded to look at my father, and I
badass.
Didn't allude to that. I said, why don't you give us a minute? I said, I'll let you know when I need you. And I said, you can just go sit over there. And so, because I halfway, didn't want to get, I kind of am a baby around my dad, so I was like, I need to like really, be tough here because Daddy can't save me. So I gotta pull this one off on my own.
Well, just by having them there, they probably shit their pants because I bet that was not in their playbook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. Their eyes just kind of, looked at me like, oh,
Good.
shit. Because I wouldn't sit down.
Good.
And, I just stood there and I had the FedEx envelope and I threw that sucker down on the table and they go, oh, what's that? And I said, go ahead, open it. And they said, well, no, that's your name on it. It's your property. And I looked at them and I go, nice. And I said, that's how fucked up this company is. I said, you guys can't even coordinate a 3 p.m. delivery. Wow. We're not doing this shit here. We are going downstairs because I'm not going to make a jackass out of myself in front of all these people. I'll do it downstairs.
Wow.
And I had cotton mouth because I'm so nervous.
I got cotton mouth listening to you.
I know. I'm fucking nervous right now.
I'm trying to be a badass, and I turned around and
no, you are being a badass. You're not trying. You are.
Well, I don't know if I didn't. I kind of felt that way, but I kind of was like, I could actually look like a huge jackass right now. But so I turned around and I said, oh yeah. And I need a bottle of water. Go down the escalator. And so sure enough, about 5 minutes later,
preferably
they come
Dasani.
down with a bottle of water, probably laced with whatever.
Yes.
And I sat down in a very private, secluded area with both of them, and I continued to spit venom, and I said a lot of things that I really can't imagine ever saying to someone, but I said, the fact that you all sat here and listened to me for 2 hours, spit actual venom, and didn't dismiss me means that that this is the truth. Because, when your kids come up and try to lie to you, you're like, whatever, stop it, go to your room. But they listened to everything I had to say. And I said, and that's enough for me. So now I'm going to have my lawyer come down and he's going to let me know how we need to proceed with this. And then we'll be in contact. And so I wave up to the top of the escalator. He's probably drunk by that point.
I don't know what, yeah.
Oh, I love how the tables have turned here where it's like now you're telling them what the next step is.
Yeah, good luck with those sleepless nights for them. That just you just
flip
the script, turn the table.
So what happens next? How does this wrap up?
So he comes down and I said, well, I'm gonna talk to him in private. So I went over and I said, Dad, I don't know a fucking clue what I'm doing right now. And he goes, that's all right, just keep talking like we know what we're talking. He's like, you want to go grab a beer after this? I'm like, yeah, I really need a beer. I might need 10. And I'm like, but Dad, I haven't eaten anything, so I might get really drunk. And he's like, this is totally unrelated to what we're gonna do.
He looks over, he's like, we request some cheese puffs from you as well on top of the water.
Yeah. And so we walk over and he's like, I've spoken with my client and we will be in touch. And we turn around and they're like, but and I turned around and I said, no, I'm done. I'm good. And we walked out and we went and had a beer. And then I called a real lawyer after that. And the real lawyer said, yeah, unfortunately you work for a company of, in the industry of they literally can fire you if they don't like your shoes. So unless this was related to, race, color, gender, creed, whatever, you're hood. I went, okay, end of story.
But you probably skipped some therapy or psychology. That had to be cathartic, You're like, here, we're going to give it back.
Yeah. It was one of those moments where if you don't do it, you're going to be like,
you wish you did.
Damn, I should have. But the only reason that it happened was because of that FedEx letter, So thank God for FedEx.
I have to say, being on the side of somebody that unfortunately has had to let people go, and, not, having worked in the corporate world and all of that, I'm definitely okay with that window of people just spitting venom, attacking, and I've had my fair share of that. And you know, that is just that thing where you're like, I just got to take this, and you know, I think we've done it.
Wait. So you're saying they weren't actually valuing what I was saying?
No, I'm saying, like, you know, they gotta expect that. Kidding. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta expect like that's gonna happen. And I think that, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with what you did. I'm sure, like, you know, on the show, if we have some HR people give some, you know, critique, they're gonna have all sorts of things. But like the human element, like, you gotta expect a little bit of that. I always just like think to myself, if, you know, we did the right thing with what we knew, hopefully 6 months, a year, water will be under the bridge. But I hope you just really, like, still give it to them if you ever see them.
So you're taught, though, like the advice is that take people to a public area, a coffee shop, an airport, I suppose, in this case, somewhere public where their emotions won't get out of control. But this is actually making me rethink that. Maybe you want to actually give people space to unleash.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I mean, because had I not said, no, we're going downstairs, I never would have had that, you know, release of being able to say what I wanted to freely say. Yeah. And I was over it the next day, you know, I mean, it's a 6-figure job. They totally royally screwed up. I had no insurance. Like, it was a big deal, you know, could have really messed up my future. But I think, you know, to your guys' point, it was cathartic enough that I got it out. Yep. And, you know, then the next, like my mom always taught me, like, you take one day, you be pissed. You take the next day, you be sad or whatever you want, and then be done with it and move on. Yep. That's, you know, and so advice. That's what I did. And looking back, I mean, it was a toxic situation anyways, and I'm a lot better off where I am. So it, you know, all's well that ends well, but it was a very interesting situation that I don't care to ever go through again, but if I do, I know it's going to be okay.
And you got a lawyer.
And now you
have there you go.
So you know, what happens now is people get fired, they get let go, they're not given information, they're kind of cut off, everything just go your own way. They don't get that moment to, like, do what you did. So now people just go to, like, Glassdoor, right? That's like the venting station where everyone just piles on there. And that's probably, you would have done something similar if on social or something, if you hadn't had that moment.
Well, oddly enough, it's funny that you mentioned that, because there's which I had no idea that this even existed, because frankly, I fortunately am too old to even care about doing shit like that. But the person who was accused of starting this whole process rolling did go to one of those exact websites and did blog or whatever about it. And so then I get
the interneted about it.
Like screenshots of, like, you know, things that this person had written. And, like, I was just like, you know what? And then everybody's like, well, sue her. And I'm like, dude, my dad's not really a lawyer, you guys. It was all fake.
All right. So this is the lesson I think everybody listening to the podcast should take away, that if you are in the pharmaceutical industry and you want to make more money or get a new territory, you just go into Glassdoor and start making up shit about other people.
You go on the offensive.
No, don't do it.
Also, dads make great lawyers. All right.
Yes.
Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you for the call.
So good. We really appreciate you sharing it. And we'll make sure we, you know, triple check everything and make sure it's tight. So, yeah.
All right. Good luck to you and that puppy.
Thanks, guys. You too.
All right,
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
It's been fun. Bye-bye.